So this is JK Podcast. This is literally our first episode ever.
Hello.
We'll see how this works. My name's Angelo.
And I'm Calais.
Well, yeah, this is our first dive into podcasting. Today, since it is February, we're going to be talking about Valentine's Day. If you know me, you would know I have a boyfriend, and he's literally like 10 feet away.
Hi, Mark. With his headphones in so he doesn't have to hear us.
Yeah, we have like the weird, this like super janky like setup right now. If you could see this is so funny.
I'll probably take a picture if we ever decide to put together an Instagram just to trace back our origins.
That would be fun.
The start of the podcast is because we both have a shared interest in mythology and storytelling and history, as well as we just live very, in my opinion, interesting lives. Like, just dumb stuff happens to us all the time. And I think this is just a nice way to kind of get our creative energy out and to use these expensive mics that I own anyway.
Yeah, I never used this microphone, so might as well, right?
Yeah, no, I'm like, why do I have this again? I don't do anything with it.
Anyway, so today we're going to be talking about specifically what is Valentine's Day, how it became to be, what it came from, and all of that stuff.
And who is Saint Valentine?
Oh, maybe you could talk about that. I didn't do any research on that.
Yeah, no, that was my one job, was to do research on who Saint Valentine was. So actually, surprisingly enough, nobody knows who Saint Valentine was. So here's the thing. Okay, let me go back to my notes. My notes are on the computer, and they're very short notes because there's there's like very little information because it was so long ago. It'd be around 270 AD is about the time that they have for who they believe is the Saint Valentine for the current holiday we do, because there's actually a lot of Saint Valentines, because the name Valentinus, however you pronounce that, was actually a popular moniker. That was really common. So
Valentinus.
Enos. So far it's been narrowed down to about 3 people it could possibly be. One was a priest in Rome. Another one was a bishop in, I can't pronounce it because it is a name, Interama, or what would now be Terni, Italy. And the third would be Saint Valentine, which was also a martyr in the Roman province of Africa. All of them play a role with Rome, and they all were killed on February 14th.
How funny.
Yeah, weirdly enough. So here's another thing. 2 accounts, the one of the priest in Rome and the one for the bishop, are so similar that they think that they might actually be the same person.
Oh.
Because at the time, around 270 AD, is when Emperor Claudius II was ruling, and he was a massive dickhead who was just kind of like really war-driven. So what happened was that he had like a really bloody campaign, and everybody hated him, and he was having a hard time getting Roman men to join the military. And so his idea, I guess, was that the reason the men didn't want to join the military was because they were too attached to their wives and family. So he just banned marriage. That was his...
Wait, really?
Yeah.
That's so stupid.
That was his solution, not forcing people to join the military or like gathering people to join the military, but to just ban marriage so that these guys wouldn't be emotionally attached to their like loved ones.
God.
And so Valentinus decided, one of them, currently it is assumed that is the priest in Rome. That is the one that we are assuming is Saint Valentine of the holiday. But Valentinus thought that that was super fucked up and decided that he was going to help wed couples in secret. And eventually he got caught and was beheaded and publicly beaten on February 14th around 270 AD. So that's kind of the history of who St. Valentine was, but because there was so much confusion around who St. Valentine could be, because there's like so many different possibilities around that time, so many priests and like bishops were martyred because of this practice going on, that multiple Valentinus died on February 14th. So, to prevent confusion, the Saint Valentine of Saint Valentine's Day is called Saint Valentine of Rome. But because they can't specify exactly which Saint Valentine it is, the Catholic Church doesn't basically the Saint Valentine is still like an officially recognized saint. But the Catholic Church is like, but was he the same person? Like, they don't officially recognize the individual because there's so much confusion. And there's actually multiple days that Valentine's Day can be celebrated on because of the sheer amount of St. Valentines. Another fun fact, he's while we associate him with love, he's also the saint of epilepsy and beekeepers.
Oh, great. I love bees.
Yeah. But that's my little bit about who St. Valentine was in terms of the origin. The reason why we celebrate it on the 14th, we don't know if it's because of a poet that took way too many privileges with history. He was like a really big storyteller, was in it for the story less than for the historical accuracy. So they don't know if we associate St. Valentine's with the holiday because of this poet and him referencing St. Valentine and couples, or if it's because of a pagan holiday.
Okay, well, the notes that I ended up taking was because of the pagan holiday.
Okay.
Or I think it's pagan. What I put down was Roman festival.
Yeah, I've read two different things, that it was a pagan thing and then a Roman thing, and then I tried watching I was so low on information, like a variety of information on St. Valentine, because most of it I got from like the history website, that I tried to watch it on YouTube to look for information on St. Valentine, and I got so many hysterical Christians
Oh, God.
that were like, don't let the devil into your life with this satanic pagan holiday. So I was like, wait, I thought this was Roman. So I'm not too sure which one it's associated with.
But like the festival that I ended up getting is called Lupercalia.
Yeah, that one.
It's the one held February.
Yeah.
So stupid of me.
It's because you're thinking of my birthday, September
Oh, yeah, totally.
18th.
But it was basically like the coming of spring.
Yeah.
And it had like fertility rights.
Yeah.
And like
It was like a couples thing with fertility and mating.
there was like a
and...
lottery pairing for couples, which I find really stupid. But do you know what these fertility rights activities were?
Fucking.
No.
Oh, okay.
No. These activities included like sacrificing animals.
Yeah.
And whipping women with animal skins.
Okay, cool.
Until they bled.
I wasn't sure if that was like real or not because, like I said, so much of the information I got was like all over the place, and I just eventually gave up.
Yeah, there was so much info that led everywhere, but that's like what I pretty much found. But like as soon as the women started bleeding, that's when you knew they were fertile. From the whipping.
It's kind of like Monty Python in that witch scene, huh?
Kinda.
Where it's like, if she drowns, she's dead. If she floats, she's a witch. And then we kill her.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's not a lot of info as to what Valentine's Day was back then. It's like all over the place.
Yeah, there's like no... Welcome to our first episode of our podcast, where we're really into history with very bit of information. Welcome to our evidence segment.
Okay, but like, we decided to go with something that we didn't realize there was not a lot of info on.
Yeah, no, I thought it was gonna be like, more information, where it was just gonna be a lot of... Oh, I thought, okay, probably pagan holiday thing, because everything's from a pagan holiday.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, it's probably some pagan holiday about fucking and spring and love and shit, because it's February, so spring. And then, like, there's no information, so I'm like, where did this corporate entity come from?
Also, I don't know if we're allowed to curse, but whatever. Oh well, it's in there now.
I mean, I've listened to podcasts where they curse. So, but then again, like one of them went bankrupt, which is really sad, but it's one of my favorite podcasts.
I don't know. Anyways, so like, so that's what Valentine's Day was before. Now today, today is all about corporation and money and all that shit. It's all bad. Like, one thing I found out, did you know that only 55% of Americans actually celebrate Valentine's Day?
I believe it because you need to have another person with you to celebrate it. And I feel like I've only celebrated it while in like elementary and middle school. But then again, I've been single my entire adult life. So I just assumed.
But like, even if it's only about half the Americans, do you know how much Americans spend on Valentine's Day?
Oh no.
Roughly $19.6 billion.
Holy cannoli. Is that with like branded Valentine's material, or is that in terms of hotel expenses, like restaurant?
All of the above.
Okay.
Literally from night outs to weekend getaways to dinners to gifts.
Oh wow.
Everything sums up to roughly about 19.6 billion a year.
You want to know how we celebrate Valentine's Day?
Oh no.
We wait till Valentine's Day passes and then we buy the like discounted chocolate.
Us too.
That's because we're Asian.
Why would you buy it before where it's full price?
Exactly.
When you can wait the day after and it's like 75% off.
Yeah.
It's so cheap.
And it tastes the same.
It's the exact same thing.
But better because it was cheaper.
Okay, but like, do you know roughly on average how much men expect to spend on Valentine's Day?
Oh,
This was a weird one.
is this for the the average man, like average middle class man?
Yes.
Okay. How much they expect to spend on Valentine's Day?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'm thinking basics, like a nice dinner and maybe flowers, like $200.
Are you ready for this?
Oh no, it's like 500 or something.
$338.
Okay.
So not like crazy bad, but still, who the heck is spending $400 on one day?
Like, what are you doing?
I don't know.
Like go to a nice meal, like something a little nicer. I can see that being like a $200 meal or whatever. Yeah, like $100 each. But then that's also the thing. Like my family, we've all been taught to go Dutch, mostly because I don't like owing people shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Like, that's what I've always done.
Yeah, I just, like, also I feel bad for somebody trying to, like, buy anything from me. So it's like, whenever you even get me food, I'm like, next time, Angelo, I get you the food next time.
But then we do it so often to each other. We kind of forget who actually owes who anymore.
Yeah, now it's just like a buffet every time I see you.
It's just like, I brought you food. And you're like, oh, okay. And the next day, I brought you food. I was like, oh, okay. Okay, but like, so we covered men. How much do you think women expect to spend?
Expect to spend and not receive.
No, they actually do expect to spend. But
okay.
It's a lot smaller.
I would imagine. What would a girl... I'm thinking stereotype, not in terms of like what I personally would buy for my partner.
Obviously.
Like what would the average girl expect to spend? That's hard because we live in OC.
Where everyone's pretty independent.
Yeah. What would a girl, like a cologne maybe? So like $100?
Wow, you overshot it. It's actually about $64.
Really?
Yeah. You women, like, you need to step up your game. Come on.
First of all, I've been single my entire life.
Okay, but like, out of those $19.6 billion, do you know what's the, like, what gift is spent on the most and how much?
I would assume it'd be eating out, right? Like a restaurant. I feel like that would be the main, right?
That's actually second.
What, is it trips?
No, it's jewelry. The second thing is a night out at $3.7 billion. Yeah.
What do they define as a night out, though? Is that a small trip? Is that like just restaurant? I know I'm probably asking you a lot of questions that you don't have the answers for.
I'm assuming it's more like literally just the night. So like a dinner, maybe a hotel room for the night. Mm-hmm. Go out to the club depending on what kind of couple it is.
Yeah.
But it's literally just a night out.
Oh.
And then after that's flowers. I don't have the exact amount for that one, but did you know that roughly 225 million roses are grown just for Valentine's Day.
Of all the flowers.
I know. Oh, and then so after flowers, then it goes to clothes, which I mean, I guess. And then candy.
When they say clothes, do they mean lingerie, or is lingerie a separate thing?
Lingerie.
Okay, cool.
They mean lingerie.
I was gonna say, I was like, that's very presumptuous to give somebody clothes on Valentine's Day.
Can you imagine? Here you go, I got you this sweater.
Yeah, no, for your partner. Like, oh, here's a wrong size of a dress I think you would look good in.
Here's a pair of socks.
Here's a pair of granny panties.
But with candy, $1.6 billion every year on candy alone, just for Valentine's Day.
I want to compare that number to Halloween.
Oh, I do too. But I don't want to do the research right now. That's too much work.
Another time.
Speaking of candy, Conversation Hearts. Those really nasty, chalky
Didn't they
candies.
go out of business?
No, Necco's still a thing, right?
I thought they went bankrupt at some point.
Mark, do you know if Necco is still a company? Like, is it still going?
I thought they went Hold up. What are they called?
Okay, well, we're doing quick research right now.
Because I need to know. I need to be right. It's a Virgo thing. You wouldn't understand.
Unless you're a Virgo.
Unless you're a Virgo. I don't know the name of the brand, so Valentine's
Oh, Necco.
Day.
Necco.
Well, it's too late. I've already typed in Valentine's Day. Yeah, 2019. Or is it? Let me find the dates. Published January 23rd, 2019. No Sweethearts Candy this Valentine's Day after company filed bankruptcy.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah, the New England Confectionery Company was bought out by the Ohio-based Spangler Company.
Oh, wow.
But it says, the good news, sweetheart lovers will see the Conversation Hearts making a comeback next year.
Oh, so this year.
I guess. But wait, no.
Yeah, because that was 2019. January 2019.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, this year.
I feel like those things never expire, though. Do they? I feel like they could just keep it on the shelves and nobody would have known that any of this was going on.
They technically expire. Technically.
I mean,
probably
in the same way water expires, I guess.
Okay, water doesn't expire. The bottle.
Plastic goes bad, and then
the bottle
exactly.
Goes
That's
bad.
what I'm saying.
The box is gonna go bad.
The box
before
eventually
the
starts to degrade.
So with Conversation Hearts, they technically started off as medical lozenges.
Oh.
I know. I thought that was really weird when I found that out.
That's a very different direction to turn.
Yeah. So Oliver Chase, he was a pharmacist back in Boston in, when was this? 1847. Like really early days. He basically created a machine to help make his medical lozenges a lot better. It's basically like two cylinders, one on top of the other, and then they just roll on each other, and there's just like die cuts on them. So then the candy would go between them, and then it would just roll and it would just cut out and shape the candy by itself.
Oh.
Yeah. So
it's like that's a thing now.
Yeah.
Like a regular thing now.
Yeah, and it was all because of him, because
Wow.
he's the one that invented it. But he made it for medical lozenges.
Aw.
And then years later, I think that's the AC for some reason.
That's a helicopter.
Oh, is that a helicopter?
That's a helicopter.
Never mind, the window's open. Anyways, so he made these medical lozenges, and then years later, he decided, why don't I just make candy out of this? And he patented the actual machine like 10 years later. And then from there, he ended up being the founder of the New England Confectionery Company. The one that went bankrupt last year.
Oh, man. So, wait, you're telling me that for 10 years, no other company, including candy-making companies, decided to come up with a similar machine?
For 10 years.
Good on him. Talk about that kind of luck, huh?
But, I mean, he was using it for medicinal purposes.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't think of, oh, they're doing that for medicine. I'm going to use it for candy.
No, but it's a mold. I'm saying I'm surprised no other candy making company or companies that provided similar services figured out a similar device.
Well, do you know how they used to make candies back then?
They used little orphan children in the streets of England.
No, do you know those the hard candies with the pictures in them?
Yeah, you do it all by hand.
Yeah, that's pretty much how they used to do it.
Poor things.
They
Poor
never-
orphan children.
Those poor orphan children.
Those poor orphan children, but
Yeah, they never
really
thought
talented.
about. They never thought about putting it through a die cut like that. So then, Neko became a thing. And except for last year, typically 8 billion conversation hearts were made every year. I don't know about
That's
this
why
year.
they're bankrupt. They made too many. I don't know who bought that stuff.
Probably. And maybe this year they'll have different sayings, but they would always have like the usual sayings like be mine, be good,
Yeah.
kiss me, sweet talk, recipe for love. I found one that was my favorite.
Oh no.
1-800-CUPID.
I hope that this new company that bought them are gonna come out with like some really fucked up ones.
What if they put emojis on it?
No, God, no. No. They can't do emojis.
Oh, that'd be
That's
so
taking a
funny.
step back.
That'd be so funny.
You have to like it's just gonna all say bae and shit now. Like,
Oh God.
no, you have to take it a step further. It has to say like love muffin.
Be my fam.
No. It has to just say like you got to take the corniness to the 10th power. That's always been my belief. If you're doing something, like just take it as far as you can.
God, can you imagine what the new ones are gonna look like now?
I really hope it doesn't say bae.
I really just want to go to the grocery store around the corner now and just like grab a box and see what they say now.
Check the expiration date on that one, or manufacture date, actually.
Ooh,
Right?
what if they were manufactured last year?
Like I said, they don't expire, so I wouldn't be worried if you were to eat it.
Oh, do you want to know my favorite fact so far throughout this entire research that I've done?
Oh no.
So $650 million are spent each year on gifts for pets.
Aww, that's me. It's all of the single people.
But like, I read that and I was like, why?
Do you think it's... Oh, wait, no, that makes sense. Because that's what, like, fucking TikTok and, like, YouTube and stuff, when people surprise their partners with pets.
No, gifts for the pets.
Yeah, like, with the costumes and the collars and the hearts and shit. Like, to me, that makes sense.
No, not to me. These are people who are literally spending money every year on Valentine's Day for their pet.
Yeah. I mean, people do family portraits and stuff. You dress your dog up in, like, a little Cupid outfit.
I'm just imagining someone literally going to the grocery store, grabbing as many dog treats as possible.
Yeah, they gotta get those Noko sweethearts for biscuit treats for their dogs.
Neko?
No, wait, is it Neko or Noko?
Neko.
Oh, yeah, it's New England. Neko just didn't sound right, and I didn't want to sound all ooh woo.
So you just said Noko.
Ooh, XDR.
Ew.
I can't do it.
But like, over 5 million people every year are buying gifts for their dogs.
I respect that.
It's roughly like
It's
$81 per household.
Roughly.
God. And then like over 2 million people are spending on their cats. That's like,
Oh, they have pet specifics. Interesting.
yeah.
What about parrots?
I didn't
Where
see
are
that.
the bird details?
What about the fish?
What about the fish?
Yeah, we're both fish people.
Fish people have too much respect for the tank. They're like, I spent way too much money on the live plants and the fish itself.
And then I decided to look into Valentine's Day in other cultures.
Oh,
Ooh, this was
interesting.
fun.
I know, because there's so many Saint Valentines. Is it all centered around the same saint, or is it a different saint for each Valentine? You get what I mean?
No, these were based off of American Valentine's Day.
Oh, so it's so it has nothing to do with the saint at all, just based off of the holiday.
Yeah.
Interesting.
The two countries I decided to look into, because they're the ones I know most about, was Japan and Korea.
Okay, yeah.
So in Japan, it started in 1950s. Like, that's how recent it was. It was only like 70 years ago.
Oh.
Yeah. We're basically in Japan on February 14th itself, on Valentine's Day, only women are giving gifts for men.
I like the idea that the women also have to participate.
That's the big thing, though, because in Japan, it's taboo for women to show feelings towards men.
Oh, so they're all lesbians.
But, like, that's the whole thing. Where in Japan, women can't show affection towards men, but men can show affection all day, every day, whenever they want.
Not to call that out or anything, but that is not what the anime has taught me.
No, anime is very
That's the
different.
opposite of what animes have told me.
But in Japan, at least this is what I found in my research. In Japan, on February 14th, women are allowed to show gratitude and love towards the men in their life.
Huh.
So on February 14th, women are literally just giving gifts to the men in their lives. Mainly chocolate and cookies. Mostly chocolate. But that's like the gifts that they do. And the thing is, there's like different types of chocolate givings. But like, there's 5 different types for February 14th. One of them is like the obligation chocolate.
Oh.
Where
is that like you give to your dad and your brothers and stuff?
That's literally what it is. You just give it to the different men in your life.
Question, do they have a Father's Day in Japan?
I don't know. I didn't look that up.
Because I feel like that's what Father's Day is for.
I know, right? But like you would give it to your dad, your uncle, even the little cousins, your boss, coworkers, friends, literally everyone. This kind
I like
of
how
chocolate
friends
giving,
fall under obligation.
the obligation chocolates, as long as they're not your significant other, that's the obligation chocolate.
Okay.
And
Is it a different type of chocolate? Is it boxed differently? Is it presented differently?
It's like
cheap chocolate.
The cheap chocolate.
Okay.
It's not really the like I'm spending as much money as I can on my chocolate.
Except for your boss.
Maybe.
Okay.
But there is the like for your significant other chocolate.
Oh.
And in Japan, typically if you really want to show how much you love them, you make it yourself.
Aww.
So
everyone knows how to temper chocolate in Japan.
Can you imagine? In Japan, just everyone knows how to temper chocolate, and everyone's just like a chocolatier.
No wonder their desserts look so much better than ours.
But like in grocery stores, they do sell like boxed chocolates and like all the Valentine's Day chocolates, but they also sell chocolate making kits and like chocolate making materials and such, which is really cool.
Yeah.
And then my personal favorite kind of chocolate giving is the chocolate you give yourself.
Oh. I thought you were going to say like the sexy chocolate.
No. It's the chocolate you give yourself.
Okay.
And then there's the friend chocolate, quote unquote, but it's my parents are calling me.
Oh, I thought they said my name for a second.
Okay, hold on. We're going to pause. Oh, okay, cool. So we're back.
Yeah.
My parents had to ask me what happened to the table that was in the backyard that we're using right now to hold all of our stuff right now.
Yeah. Don't question it, Mom. It's just in the bedroom.
It's okay, Mom.
With the girl you've only met a few times.
Anyways, so we were on chocolate.
Yes, friend chocolate.
Friend chocolate. So this is the chocolate that you literally give other girls that are your friends.
Okay.
So yeah, you don't have to just give it to guys.
So is obligation chocolate male friend chocolate?
Yes.
And then friend chocolate is female friend chocolate?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, these all have like actual Japanese names.
Cool.
I didn't bother writing. Actually, I do have it down, but I'm not going to bother. That's
Trying
too much.
it. Let me see. I can't read your chicken scratch, so
sorry.
it's fine. I don't know how you can read your chicken scratch.
Because it's my own chicken scratch. Just give me like a year and I won't be able to read it anymore.
Yeah, sounds about right. That's me and my cursive.
And then there's one more chocolate called reverse chocolate.
You pull the Uno reverse card on them and they have to give you chocolate?
Funny enough, yes.
Oh!
Basically, the men give chocolate on February 14th. Men don't have to.
Okay.
But they can.
Got it.
And that's what that is. Now, if you're wondering what's going on with the men, why aren't they doing anything? It's actually a whole month later.
Oh.
So March 14th.
In case they want to go on vacation on February 14th.
So like March 14th is actually called White Day.
Oh, okay. I do know about this because it's been in mangas I've read. That's my cultural understanding of Japan, is just what I've seen in anime and read in mangas.
Okay, but like White Day started off 27 years later.
Wait, 27 years?
1977.
So wait, they first made a holiday where, okay, was the origin of the holiday basically just Valentine's Day where it was male and females? Or was it just like...
It's so that females can express love.
Okay.
That's literally how Valentine's Day started in Japan. And then 27 years later, men decided, oh, I should probably, reciprocate the love.
Well, I mean, if they're allowed to display positive affection, I guess, whenever they want, I don't think there was as much pressure to like give gifts when they can just do it whenever, whereas the female counterpart was probably a little more like not socially acceptable. So I can see where females would be like, please, for the love of God, I just need to show my emotions.
But the whole concept of White Day started off from a guy named Ishimura Masato. He used to be a candy maker.
This is where the corporates die.
And actually, yes, but hold on.
Oh, okay.
He was a candy maker, but he wanted to coin the name Marshmallow Day.
Oh.
And obviously it didn't take.
Yeah.
So the National Confectioner Industry Association, NCIA, came in and was just like, just call it White Day. And it stuck and it worked. Nowadays, they try to say that the color white is supposed to symbolize the purity of love. But to be real, though, I'm pretty sure it had to do with the fact that marshmallows are white.
Maybe.
I'm pretty sure.
But what is Valentine's Day just called Valentine's Day?
Mm-hmm.
Is it Black Day?
No. So February 14th, women give chocolates.
Okay.
March 14th, White Day. Men give back gifts. They can do chocolate as well. But they have to follow the rule of 3.
They have to give 3 gifts?
Whatever value the woman gave you of gift, you have to multiply that by 3 and give back.
Oh, so females are pulling like some mathematical shit
Oh,
on Valentine's Day.
I read a couple articles that were like, if you really want a good gift, you better spend a lot on Valentine's Day so that on White Day you get something good.
So how would this work between like bosses and stuff? Because if you got like I'm one of those where if I had to shop for my boss and it's like an obligated gift, I'm gonna make sure it's like a little bit better than the rest of like the male coworkers I fucking have to get gifts for.
Mm-hmm.
So like, what if they go all out and then they give like a really nice gift to their boss? Like that doesn't, like, to us, I guess that seems weird.
Okay, but like think of it this way: you're giving your coworkers maybe like $1
you
boxes
get
of
one
chocolate.
chocolate.
Like $1 boxes of chocolate.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna give you back like a $3 box of chocolate or something, or cookies. Mm-hmm. And then your boss, let's say you spend like $5 on him, he's just going to give you like a $15 thing. So it's not too much. You're not really spending a lot.
Not if you get some like Godiva shit.
But candy in Japan's really cheap.
Is it? I don't know.
It's really cheap.
Oh.
It's really good too for being really cheap.
Hell yeah.
So I can't wait till we go to Japan. But that's a different story.
Anyway. If you do, I will literally give you money to buy me shit.
Oh yeah, I would do it.
Like I'm saving money with you, so I can give you money to buy me things while you're there.
You give me like $1,000 and like, here, just buy me like.
I was thinking like 500.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because 500 still isn't a lot.
Yeah, I know. Like, can I please have clothes? And it's just like a belt.
But like these men on White Day.
Wait. Okay, but here's my other question to something that you probably won't be able to answer.
We'll see.
Was the idea of 3 times the original valued amount received an idea because of spending? Like companies wanted you to buy more, or was it like a pride thing originally? Was it like I don't, a competitive thing? Like
That's a really
emotionally
good question.
competitive thing. You know what I mean?
Because in Japan, they're very prideful.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But I'm pretty sure it has to do with industry too.
Yeah.
Because you know how here in America it's just like, oh, if you don't spend a lot of money on your wife, you don't love her.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure it's the same.
It's like,
also
if you
in
don't
Japan.
buy jewelry for your life on Valentine's Day, is it like the same concept?
I feel like so, but also the whole pride thing.
Because, like, I want to know why so specific. 3 times. You know what I mean?
Which I probably could have done more research on it.
Yeah.
But I already did like a whole day's research on this. I did 4 pages of notes.
And it's so hard to find information on Valentine's Day. Don't try to cross-check us, okay? Just trust us.
just trust us.
We
did a whole day's research.
We did a whole day of research.
All
right. And I'm dyslexic, so I had to take breaks in between.
I just go to school and I work, so I'm very busy. But that's a different story.
Yeah.
But also in Korea.
Oh yeah, I forgot about Korea.
In Korea, Valentine's Day and White Day are the exact same things, which is really cool. I'm assuming Korea got it from Japan. But a month after White Day, April 14th, they have Black Day.
Okay, I knew somebody had a Black Day.
So in Korea, the funny thing is, Black Day is for single people.
Oh my god, my people. We all just go out and buy fish tanks so we don't feel alone.
Actually, what they do on Black Day is all the single people go together with their single friends and they go to Chinese Korean restaurants, specifically Chinese Korean restaurants, to specifically eat one noodle dish called jjajangmyeon.
Is it like black noodles?
It's Chinese style noodles in a black bean sauce, which I've had and it tastes really good, but it's like a fast food thing.
I'm kind of disappointed in that the way they celebrate it. I thought it would be like single people go out and they buy something really expensive that their partner would have bought them instead, and then they just live in that financial regret like the next day.
It was more of a day to sulk in the fact that you're single.
Oh.
That's what it used to be. Because in Korea, 20-something-year-olds, they're like pressured really heavily to be married.
Oh.
So if you're like 20-something-year-old and you don't have a significant other, then there's a lot of people around you just like, why aren't you married yet? Why aren't you getting married?
So on top of everyone being upset that you're not married or with a partner, you get to spend a day being upset that you don't have a partner.
Yeah, pretty much. But actually nowadays, Koreans actually think of Black Day as more of a celebration. A celebration of being independent, how being single isn't a bad thing. And for women specifically, they can actually follow career paths instead of being like a traditional domesticated wife at home.
Yeah.
Which is, it's cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
You sound so disappointed.
I don't know. I mean, I think just me being single, I just like do a lot of dumb things anyways,
Yeah, like why go to a restaurant?
I think if I had a
to
day to
noodles?
celebrate it, I would take that as an invitation to buy something really stupid.
Like a tattoo gun?
Yeah.
No.
It's still in my Amazon cart.
Oh my god.
I wouldn't do it on me, okay? I can test it out in oranges or something, alright?
We already had this conversation. You even admitted
It's like
that-
$50.
You even admitted that if you ever got bored, you would tattoo yourself.
Not somewhere where somebody could see. Maybe
See,
like
you just said.
okay, well.
Anyways, that's all the research we did on Valentine's Day.
Yeah, and we hope you learned something, please, anything about Valentine's Day.
At least anything. If you didn't know about Japanese Valentine's Day, thank you.
Yeah. I mean, and if you didn't know about Saint Valentine,
It's okay.
now
no one
you know.
does. Actually, no one does. Because no one knows who it is.
Yeah, nobody knows. If you know about Saint Valentine of Rome.
That would be cool. Let us know.
Yeah, or if there's any topics that you, the people, would like us to talk about or discuss. I believe next week we are planning on doing some of our personal Valentine stories.
Mm-hmm.
Believe it or not, even though I'm single.
You
I
got
have
really
like
close to the
two
mic.
that I can take it out of my pocket and be like, here are my little Valentine stories I can share with you.
You got really close to the mic, and it felt really weird in my ears.
Hi, Angela.
Ew. Okay, we're gonna be signing off now. Bye.
Bye.